What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. You know what that means? It's time for another 20-minute logo design challenge. Today I'm going to be redesigning the Capital One logo. Let's get started. Alright, so just like all of my other ones, I've pulled up the Capital One logo history. And as you can see, they have literally never changed their logo. Now, to be fair, they've only been around since 1994. But, you know, they've got this one right here, this Capital One in this typeface, and then they added this red swoosh, and then they refined the red swoosh. So it's not necessarily that it's a bad logo, really. Actually, in terms of logo design, it's actually not that bad. However, it's just a little bit generic. It's very inventive. Like whenever it's not inventive. Whenever I see a swoosh like this, it just makes me think of, like, you know, back in the 90s when you had those action movies and there was that generic corporation that everyone was supposed to fear and, you know, we're trying to take down. This is the kind of stuff that they use. So, I don't really have an idea of what to do here, because there's really nothing to go on. But we've got the color scheme. I don't know if I'm going to try to use gray or not, but I'm definitely going to use the red and the blue. And if there's a possibility that we can possibly call to this, maybe, then I might see what I can do there. I don't really know. I do kind of, I don't really like the balance of the sans serif with the serif font. I don't like it in any of these iterations right here, but we'll see what I can do, what I can put together in 20 minutes. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to set my timer. All right, 20-minute timer, and let's get going. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I want to look at some fonts on Adobe Fonts, and I am going to, here, let's do this, Capital One. And one thing I'd like to do is you've got the sans serif and the serif font, the sans serif and the serif fonts there, and I'd like to keep it all sans serif, big surprise. But I definitely want it to be very, like, you know, I want to have something with several weights and several varieties to it. So let's set this to probably, you know, I want at least 6 at the very minimum, so that way I can actually get a few different things. What I'd like to do is possibly do capital in lowercase and then 1 all in uppercase. It's possible that I might go that direction, but we'll see what we can do here. And so let's find a font. I actually kind of like this one, Rustica. And I think that I'm actually going to institute a new rule whenever I'm waiting for a font to activate, because as we all know, Adobe fonts, they're notorious for very slow load times. So all I'm gonna do right here, this is not cheating. I'm just gonna type this out and see if it has come in yet. It has not come in yet. So I'm just gonna, nope, there it is, perfect. All right, so let's go back to our timer and start it. All right, so that is going, perfect. All right, so let's see. Let's get this going here. I'd like to, you know, this is a very large brand. I think that it's international. I think I should know that, right? I'm pretty sure it's international. If not, it's, you know, at least a national brand. So we need to make sure that this is communicative. I got it. Across the board, no matter where you see the logo, it needs to be instantly recognizable the moment you see it. And it also needs to, I think it needs to be familiar in some way. So I think that I'm going to try to see what I can do with that red swoosh. I'm not going to do the same symbol there, but we'll see what we can do. So the first thing I'm going to do here is so let's adjust the kerning here. I'm going to get all the way up close and personal with this font, and I'd like to kind of bring this to here. Kerning really does change a font and a logo design overall. So let's kind of bring this in a little bit. It's not all about making it tighter. It's all about making sure that the relationship between the letters are like the spacing between the letters, relationship between the letters, however you want to word it. Want to make sure that it feels natural. And just optically even across the board, because unless you're using a monospace font, your spacing is like your space. You don't want it to always be mathematically perfect. You want it to be optically pleasing to the eye. All right, so there's a possibility that I may even depending on what I do with the weights here. So if I do maybe like medium with that, I think that looks pretty cool. But I also want to avoid making it look like it's saying capital loan or something like that. And I think that this is doing a pretty good job of that, but I think that I may just kind of push it out just a little bit so that it's not exactly right next to it. And we'll just kind of bring this in a little bit. Same thing here. I think that is looking pretty good. I think the type is nice. All right, so their font colors are, okay, so it's blue all across the board. Let's see what it looks like all in blue. All right, I actually really like this a lot. Those nice big, swooping circles on that lowercase p right there, it really modernizes and brings a freshness to it. So I think that the very first, so when I look at this, the first thing that I see is that uppercase O. Like, that's very much calling out to me, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. But what I think I might do, now that I'm looking at it from a distance, I think that I will push this out just a touch. I think that looks a lot better. And let's see here. In the original logo, they've got a separation. As you can see right here, they've got a difference in the baseline. So those baselines are not lining up with each other. And just to experiment, let's see what happens if we do the same thing. Because what you could do, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. My first thought was to do something like this, where we can draw a horizontal line right underneath the word one, and then that could be red. And what we would do here in this case is we'll bring this up right here, and we'll match the same thickness of that N right there. Let me go all the way in so I can line it up perfectly. And that way we can get the exact thickness, and then we'll rotate it back again. Okay. So that way we've got some consistency within our elements. So let's align this to that, and let's push this down maybe not that much. That's way too much. I think I may just kind of optically do it right here. So, and then we'll make sure that we align it with this O right here. All right. Okay, so there is an option right there. It's very, it is generic, just like this one is. However, it's definitely a lot fresher. We don't have that. We don't have the swooping and the curving happening. So I think that is a good. I think that's kind of like a good starting point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of this, and I'm just going to kind of make a copy of it. If there was anything that I could change about this, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to see what I can do to refine this particular design that I've put together. And the first thing that I would do is actually bring down the sizing of that one a little bit. I think that it's overpowering it. I don't think that it's balanced well. So if we bring that down, we want to make sure that this doesn't look like the word alone. So we would push this out. Actually, you know what? I want to try something a little different. Let's do this instead. Let's get that. No, wait. Nope. Okay, I know what's happening here. All right, perfect. And then we'll just do, oops. We'll just do this right here. Capital 1. Let's move this over here for now. And maybe something like this. I think that it might be a little bit... I wonder if you could do that. And then that's interesting. So this layout right here is interesting. And then we'll just kind of back this off optically. Or we could, you know what we could do? We could align it with that P right there. And since we're not working with outlines right now, those are not gonna show up in my smart guides whenever I align things, but that's not a big deal. All right, so this is going out maybe a good length, but let's bring it to about right here. And let's do the same thing that we're doing earlier. We're just kind of creating some guides based on where these letters are. All right. So I think that is pretty cool. It's, you know, it's kind of like I think this would be a good horizontal or not horizontal, a vertical option for a different layout. Whenever I see it like this, I'm not wild about the one being red. So let's just kind of throw this over here and see how that looks. Okay, so I think out of those two, this one's my favorite. So let's see. I'd like to try an italic, and I think regular italic is looking good with this. And whenever you change to italic, you want to make sure that you adjust your kerning, because we've got a little bit, you know, it's opened up a little bit too much right there between those letters. So let's bring this in. And then between the A and the P, actually I like that. So, okay, that looks good. All right, so if we have the italics on capital, one also has an italic. So let's see what that looks like. And we'll do bold italic. Okay, I actually kind of like that. I do like that. I wasn't intending on making this italics, but I do like this. What I'd like to see if I can do is I'd like to see if I can do anything at all with this shape. Want to be super careful with it because I don't want it to become too generic looking, and we also don't want it to look like the Citibank logo. So, you know, like that little umbrella right above any letters right there. So I really just want to see what kind of options we've got. That's interesting. That's Pepsi. That's a fish. There's a rise. Okay, that's kind of interesting. It's possible we can do that. Let's see. Then they've also got flag, but that's Pepsi. That's Pepsi. So I don't think we're gonna do that. Not gonna do any. I think rise may be the only one that I want to at least see what I can do with. And can it go anywhere and still look good? I don't hate it, but I also don't. I don't love it enough to keep it. So I'm gonna throw this over here, just kind of in the pile, and I think that I'm going to. Let me see what I can do about, you know, because like you've got the swoosh in the original logo, and then you've got a capital C over there. So I wonder if, okay, so let's do one without this is kind of getting a little bit bold, but what if we did one without the red bar and oh shoot. Okay, there's that. I don't think that works well, but I think that it could work in the italic version. So if we replace this with red and do that right there. And if we, let's see, what do we do here? Is this bold italic? Yeah, that's bold italic. And what if we change this to red? Oh, let's just change the color, not the weight and all that stuff. This is the kind of stuff that happens when you're on a time limit. There we go. Okay. That is a little bit tough on the eyes. So I think that having this, what if we did this? What if we brought in this gray color? Okay, that's actually looking pretty cool. Although I would like to maybe darken it a little bit. There we go. And let's also try an iteration of it with... The problem is that it's looking like the word alone. And even in this one, I'm also kind of seeing that. So I think that I really do want to make sure that I keep them separated. Sorry if that was cringy. I actually kind of like this right here. That lone red C is making me think of Crest toothpaste. And there's no other options for a C in this font. But I do like it. I think I'm gonna try this, and then maybe let's try. Let's see, what is this? Is that's regular italic? So let's match the weight of that and see how that looks. Okay, that's kind of cool. Although I think it needs to be a little bit heavier. So I think we need to go back to what we did before. And this across the board is 80, and this is 60. So I think this, I actually do really like this a lot. Let's bring in the red horizontal bar and see what we can do with that. What if we colored it gray? We'll just kind of bring it all the way up to, bring it all the way up to here, and then just kind of back it off incrementally. I think that's good. And then we'll also, let's grab both of these. Let's go all the way up with this, and oh, stop at. All right. We'll go up to here and then push it down by 1/4 of an inch. That way it's nice and even. Okay. Now I think it's too low. So I think that I may actually bring it back up. I don't want to spend too much time on this particular iteration. But I think that I do like that one. You know what it's kind of looking like though? It's kind of looking a little bit more like a news network or something like that. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to try something completely different from these fonts. Let's go super, super light in weight, and then balance it with bold. And what if we did, did blue and then red? What is going on? I selected that, didn't I? There we go. This is very like super duper clean. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. I wonder if, you know what? I wonder if it would look better if we grabbed this gray right here, and then what if you did this? Just kind of underline. Let's bring it to the top or front so we don't have to worry about that. Just kind of optically do this because I know I'm running out of time. There's that. You could also, I think we may need to bring it up just a little bit more. So I could easily see this on, business cards or on billboards or, wherever, like wherever you see this logo, which is a lot. It's a lot of places. It could work as all one color like this. If you wanted to do it as all red, you could. Although that red really is like a burning red. So I do like that iteration right there. Out of all of these, I would say that probably my favorite is still this one. And out of these, as far as the colors go, I'm actually not a big fan of this first one. I like the all blue, that's nice, and I like the all gray. Not a big fan of the all red and then these three colors, but I still would like to find a way to make all of the colors work. Let's see how we're doing with time. Oh, not very good. Okay. What can I do in less than 2 minutes? All right, so let's try... What if we did this? What if we did lowercase? And then there. And then what if we did something like this? I'm just really just kind of throwing anything at the wall and seeing what sticks right now. What if we just did a separating line right here? We'll color the capital and this, and then maybe the separating line can be gray. No, I don't like that. I think that element is just a little bit too strong. I'm running out of time. Okay. Sometimes I work best under pressure. And I actually just realized I don't have my headphones plugged in, so I don't know when this is gonna actually go off. I'm gonna have to go check it manually. Could you make it a little bit thicker, possibly? Let's see. We'll just add 1/2 inch. I think that looks good. Okay, well there you go. I checked it at the very last second. So I am going to cheat just a little bit. I'm just going to finish out this concept right here. So let's just do this. Bring this N and this E together. Okay. So I don't necessarily hate this, I just think that that bar is a little bit too thick. So something like this, and then for some reason it's with those, with that red bar, it's making these baselines look like they're not matched up with each other, although they actually are. So if we were to change, what if we did that? What if we did like bold italic and then brought the size down? And then let's make the spacing between it the same. I'm totally cheating right now. Okay. Well, I like that actually. It's a little bit wide, but it's not the end of the world. Let's just sample the color. And then we'll do the same thing with all gray. All right. Well, Capital One, take your pick. Which one do you like? There are, I think, 4 different concepts going on here. And if Capital One were my client, first off, I wouldn't be living in this house if Capital One were my client. But the one that out of all of these, if I were to push for a rebrand for them, I would probably go with this one, the very last one that I did. These right here seem a little bit too clean for them. They need to be set apart a little bit more. But out of all of the concepts, I do like them. But I think that I would go in and refine this overall concept. And for me to do that, let's see, what do we say? How about 10 million? Does that sound good, Capital One? All right, well, thank you so much for watching me redesign the Capital One logo and earning myself a sweet $10 million paycheck. looking forward to seeing that coming in the mail. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. That way it keeps all of these videos coming directly to you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time and have a great day. Bye-bye.